Oh boy, do I have a video for you. I haven't uploaded for 2 months. Honestly, I blame Codeex. I blame Claude. I blame the advancements we have in AI and the crazy things you can do with it right now. We are at a time where we don't even know what's going to happen to programming. And recently, these agents are able to one-shot entire code bases, build entire apps, make entire Roblox games, at least for a prototype, on their own. This is not where we were back in 2022 when ChatGPT first came out. We're at the point now where Codex and Claude Code can quite literally write all the code, iterate on it, make updates for a Roblox game from scratch without you copy-pasting, without you even editing a lot of the things inside of Roblox Studio. So today, we are doing a video that shows you guys, if you don't know, how to use Claude Code, how to use Codex, how to use coding agents, how to use Visual Studio Code, and how to use Roblox MCP so that you can actually tap into what AI is doing to Roblox development as we speak. Because it is not the same field that it was a month ago. It's not the same it was 2 months ago. Things are changing basically every week. There are new updates to these models. There are new models coming out constantly from these companies, and it is making it so that you need to adapt, right? Don't be scared that your job as a Roblox developer or your dream of having a successful game or whatever it is, don't fear that going away. Just leverage the tools as they are, because most people aren't even using them. I've talked to Roblox developers who don't even know much about Claude Code or MCP, who are very experienced, even successful, believe it or not. So you're not necessarily behind yet, at least that behind. So it's time to jump on. It's time to get these tools down. But we're also going to make sure you don't spend 2 months mucking around, wasting a lot of time, because I learned a lot over this period, and I'm going to teach you some things that will help you to not have to spend 2 months not getting that many projects out when you'd think, oh, I could get a new game out every day. Not quite. We're almost there. But we're going to look at the mistakes I made so you don't have to make those as well, and you can do this a lot faster than me. All right, we're going to start with the most basic and foundational part of this. If you want to make Roblox games with AI, the very first thing you need to do is use Script Sync or Rojo. So me personally, right, I like Script Sync better. Basically what these tools do is they link your Roblox Studio code base with a repository, aka a code base in a folder on your computer. Script Sync is the one by Roblox. It's built into Roblox Studio. It's a little more buggy sometimes than Rojo, but I prefer it because it's easier to set up. It's simpler. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go to File and then go to Beta Features. Inside of here, you're going to see many different options. You're simply going to turn on Script Sync, and you're going to have to restart Studio after doing that. After Script Sync is checked, you can now right-click Services in Workspace as well as Folders, and also Scripts. But I'd recommend you use Folders and Services. These are what you're syncing to your repository. So you want to right-click Server Script Service first. This is the most important one. Choose Script Sync, and then you're going to see a button that says Sync with Directory. So you're going to go ahead and do that, and you're going to want to create a folder for your Roblox game development stuff. And inside that folder, I would have a code bases folder. In that, you want to then put a folder for the game that you're working on right now. And then, this is very important, do not save to the games folder. Create yet another folder for the service that you're currently syncing. So you're syncing server script service, and then you select that folder and you click Save to Folder. That's it. You do that for every service that you're going to sync, and you're going to want to sync server script service, replicated storage, and starter player scripts. Those are the bare minimum. If your game absolutely needs advanced character code, like for example, a lot of anime games have animation managers, etc., you can also sync starter character scripts, but you do not absolutely need to do that. These are the main three. In fact, you might not even need to do replicated storage, but you often do for modules and things of that nature. All right, so the reason that we did this, the reason we're syncing our scripts from Studio into a repository, into a folder, is simple. The agent needs to be able to view the code. And look, yes, you can directly do this in Studio, but I don't recommend that method right now. I think that the workflow Roblox added is honestly trash, so don't even touch that. Do what we're doing now, right? But the agent needs to be able to see the code. It can only do that in this method by having a repo on your computer that you sync to. All right, next. So there's two things that you need to do. The first thing you're going to need to do is download Visual Studio Code if you don't have it yet. So go to code.visualstudio.com. I will link that in the description. And then do download for Mac OS. Then search up Codeex. Ensure you're on chatgpt.com/Codeex and download that app. Codeex is available on Mac and Windows. Visual Studio Code is as well. Now, if and only if you have a Claude subscription, download the Claude app by searching up Claude app download and then choosing download Claude from the list of URLs. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to open Visual Studio Code. We're going to do this first because this is where Roblox developers all start if they're trying to code from outside of Studio. This is the famous location where we all type our code. Not anymore. We just have agents do it. So go to File, Open Folder, and then choose your game from your game development folder. Open the Games folder, not the game development folder, not the code bases folder, not server script service on its own. Just choose the game. Then you'll want to install the Codeex plugin if you're using Claude, which costs money right now. You can't use it for free. There might be a free trial, but it would be very minimal if they do have one. Go ahead and install the Claude Code extension. And then from there, you will be able to open these agents on the left sidebar. And they will also show up in the top right here. Now, for a very basic overview, you can change the model on Codeex by going down here. You can choose the one that you want. GPT 5.4 is the smartest. GPT 5.3 Codex Spark is the fastest, but that's only available on a certain plan. You can choose the reasoning, extra high, low, medium. That determines how long it thinks. Now, if you really want it to be accurate, you can use that, but if you want it to be fast, just use the lowest one or medium. As the code base gets more complex, it is often more important to have this be higher up. You can also change the thinking level in Claude too by clicking this slash button and then choosing the effort slider and then just turning that up or down. All right, if you want the easy method, now we're gonna look at Codeex, the app. So the Codeex app is where you're going to want to go, especially if you don't have a plan, because you're able to use this for free and you're able to get a lot more use out of it. Now, I believe this is going to be a limited time thing that OpenAI is doing. Now, also, if you're only going to get a $20 per month subscription for AI, I would recommend that you just get a ChatGPT subscription because you get a lot more use out of it than you will from Claude. But it's worth it to have both because Claude is really good at one-shotting things and it's also a lot more creative in a way. It's a lot more able to make things and have it actually look good and have a good feature set and have nice UI from the start. Codeex is a little more technical and it isn't as creative unless you force it. Now, if you do have the money to spend, I would say get the $100 Claude plan. That one is the best option for middle of the road. Like you want the most use possible, but you want the smartest model possible. I would just pay for that. Don't go all the way for the ChatGPT Pro plan, $200 a month. Use the $20 a month one and then use the $100 a month Claude subscription. That is the most cost-effective approach that I've found. That's what I'm currently doing at the moment. And the Claude 20 a month subscription is not worth it if you're trying to use this decently heavily, which if you're a Roblox developer, you probably are. Let's just be honest. You're trying to write entire code bases for games. You're trying to make updates, you're trying to make features nonstop. You don't want to have to wait. So just go and get a ChatGPT $20 a month subscription, ChatGPT Plus, or get the Claude $100 one, or both, preferably both. So what you'll want to do is choose the little drop down right here and then go to add new project. If you just got this today, you're not going to have any projects in here. Unlike me, I have quite a few. Just choose add new project and add the root of the repo, aka the games folder, not your codebases folder, yet again, and also not your server script service. That would screw up your entire game. Now, once you have that, you can message Codeex right here. You can tell it to make edits. You can tell it to do quite a lot of things. Now, in my experience, the best approach is just to do this one prompt at a time, like so. Make a daily spinner UI for cache or a random bus. Make the UI well designed and make it open only once upon first join of the day. Boom. So then once you do that, you will be off to the races. Now this is a very simple prompt. It's not constraining it hard. It's not doing tons and tons of detail. So you might have to iterate on it more. In my experience, and this is me, this is my workflow now, it is better to do single prompts that build one feature at a time rather than trying to one-shot the whole thing in one go. That simply is a road to a lot of things that you don't want. Really, it won't make it that high quality. It won't make it as customized to what you want compared to doing it one prompt at a time where you just tell it, hey, add a little daily wheel spinner, add a round system, add data saving. If you do it one step at a time, rather than trying to have ChatGPT build you a massive prompt that crams every detail into it and gets Claude to one-shot the entire new rubber duck simulator you're trying to make, that generally doesn't work. You can have ChatGPT help you to make prompts. It works great. But one-shotting games is a risky business right now. We aren't quite there yet with AI. You're not able to just, type a few words. The entire game's done. Models, assets, UI, everything. We're still not there. There's still a need for developers. There's still a need for operators of the tools, not just people sitting there pressing one button on their keyboard and having an entire game pop out that could go to the front page, right? There's still some effort with this. You're still going to need to babysit and handhold the agent all the way through to the end and having a finished product. But that doesn't mean that you can't get something from this. This is way better than copy-pasting code from ChatGPT. If you're doing that still, I hate to break it to you, you're living in the past, you're living in 2023, this is now 2026, we can do this. It's automatically editing all the files inside the repo, even creating new ones. If script sync is on, all these changes are going to go in. All right, so one important thing about script sync is that it can have a problem. This is why a lot of people use Rojo still, because script sync is not perfect yet. What happens is script sync will suddenly stop syncing if scripts change sometimes, especially if you reopen the place. So you'll notice right here, I was telling Codeex to fix it, the daily spinner that I made, not opening when I joined the game. But as you can see, the code is in there, daily spinner client, but it wasn't in there before. So if you ever see the little icon here that indicates that something is being synced by script sync have a red dot next to it, that means that that service or folder has stopped syncing. So you will need to right-click it, click script sync, and then click resume sync to go ahead and continue that. That way the code will actually run. Now with that aside, let's test this out. So you can see it made a script that went ahead and made the UI. But this is being written in as code that then spawns this inside of the game while it's playing. This is not a UI that is editable by me manually outside of Studio inside of the starter GUI. But there's a way to get Codeex or Claude Code to go ahead and edit Studio directly. As I hinted at earlier, that is MCP, and we're going to look at how to do that next. Looks like this is working well. Now, the only issue with it is the style doesn't exactly match the rest of the UI. So we'll go ahead and tell it to change that. So I'm just going to screenshot the UI, and I'm going to say match to this. Same icon style for the icon on the right, same strokes in black on text, etc. Same bright colors. All right, while that's working, we're going to look at MCP. So you can get MCP at GitHub at this link. It's going to be in the description. It is by BoshyXD. And you're just going to go ahead and do what it says right here. You want to install the Studio plugin, allow HTTP requests, and then connect your AI to the MCP. So let's go ahead and do that. So go click this link here and get the Studio plugin. Go ahead and get the latest one. A pre-release is risky because it might be buggy. It might break on you. So go for the latest stable version. You just click on the RBXMX file, and then you want to go to your plugins folder. Usually that is in Documents, and then you go to Roblox, and then underneath Roblox, you go to Plugins. And then you just want to open up a new Finder or Windows Explorer window and go to your downloads. And then just go ahead and drag that inside of the plugins folder. Then you'll have to restart Roblox Studio. And then once you restart, you're going to go to the plugins button here and then go all the way down to the MCP integration. Choose the MCP server. And then inside this window for the plugin, you're just going to click Connect right here. After you install the Studio plugin, you simply have to go to Terminal on your computer. You simply have to paste in the command that goes for your agent. So if you're using Claude Code, you paste in this one. If you're using Codeex, you use that one, etc. Paste that into Terminal or Command Prompt on Windows, and then boom, it is now able to be used. You will have to restart your Claude Code and Codeex agents / apps or plugins for it to work, but that's it, you're good to go. Once you do that, you will be able to tell Codeex to edit directly via MCP. So I'm going to tell it to move the UI we just made into Starter GUI via MCP. You now have access. You have to make sure that the plugin shows connected inside of Studio, or else it won't work. So now it's going to make it so that this is canonically inside of Starter GUI, so that we can edit it, we can see it before the game starts, and it's a lot more customizable for us. Before, it was being generated with code while the game's running, which isn't ideal. All right, and as you can see, it has produced it in Studio. The daily spinner frame, or not, seems to have duplicated the rebirth frame, which is stupid, but it's an AI, it makes mistakes, and this is why it's not perfect yet. Unlike what a lot of people will tell you, oh, it can make an entire game in one go. Not quite, man. See, and now we're getting into a real problem with agents. Debugging hell. Especially as things get more complex, you will find more and more bugs from these agents, and it will often mess up its own work in fixing it. You'll fix one bug, and then 6 more will pop up in its place. Just how it is right now. They're useful as hell, but they're not perfect. All right, now it opens. It successfully changed the design. It's not perfect, but it actually got it way closer to what we'd want, and I'm happy with it. We didn't have to be in debugging hell too long. Definitely not long enough to have to restart it altogether. But that's it, you now have it. This is how you use AI to make Roblox games. This is the new era we're in. If you want more assistance with this, if you want to learn more about this, we're going to be adding more AI-focused lessons to Scripting Secrets, a structured way to learn scripting so that you can understand it yourself and not just be meandering around with code you don't understand. It still helps to understand the fundamentals of coding. It will help you prompt your AI better in certain situations, even as coding completely changes as a field. So join that below if you're interested, and I will see you next time.